Eagles fans, hold on tight. In a single week, 3 major news stories exploded. A former first-round wide receiver was just released, a cornerback valued in the millions may be in Philly's sights, and, to top it all off, 2 offensive starters were injured before the rematch against the Chiefs. I already have all the behind-the-scenes details, and I'll tell you now. But first, leave a like and subscribe because the Eagles' season just got turned upside down. The latest news shook the NFL world. Jalen Reagor, former Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver, was cut by the Los Angeles Chargers. After being drafted in the first round of the 2020 draft by the Eagles, Reagor had a career marked by ups and downs, and his departure from Philadelphia wasn't exactly a surprise, considering the impact of his selection. After all, when it comes to the battle between Reagor and Justin Jefferson, the comparison never favored the 26-year-old. While Reagor showed flashes of talent, especially during his breakout season, his consistency has always been a question. He failed to establish himself as a key player in the Eagles' scheme, and after 2 seasons of frustrated expectations, he was traded to the Minnesota Vikings, where he also failed to achieve the desired success. But could a new opportunity with his former team be the fresh start he needs? Could the Eagles benefit from a potential Reagor signing, or would it just be a risky gamble? In 2024, after a brief stint with the Vikings, Reagor had a modest season with the Chargers, accumulating 100 tackles and 7 receptions in 8 games. Given his inconsistent performance in recent years, he now finds himself looking for a new lease on life, and Philadelphia could be his destination, considering the current state of the wide receiver core. The truth is, while the Eagles' wide receiver position is star-studded, it also has holes. Injuries to key players and uncertainties surrounding roster depth sometimes leave the team vulnerable. Would Reagor's return be a response to these challenges? Or would Howie Roseman, known for his shrewdness in the market, choose to explore other options? The answer to this question involves a careful analysis of the team's current needs. In a league where the balance between the air and ground attack is crucial, the presence of a receiver with Reagor's experience could add an interesting layer of depth. While Reagor has failed to meet expectations in his previous stints, he still possesses untapped potential. Throughout the season, the Eagles demonstrated an aggressive approach to free agency, bringing in key players to strengthen their roster. However, with the wide receiver position being one of the most difficult to evaluate, does the team really need another player? Or does it already have enough to remain competitive in the current landscape? In such an unpredictable league, giving a second chance to a talented and familiar former player could be tempting. Furthermore, Reagor's return to Philadelphia would bring psychological value and motivation to him. Returning to the city that drafted him in the first round could be a kind of revenge to prove his worth, perhaps the fuel needed for a career turnaround. And who knows, if Howie Roseman decided to take the plunge, Reagor could become an important piece in strengthening the practice squad, keeping him in the team's sights for future opportunities. Philadelphia football fans are divided on this possibility. Some believe a change of scenery could revitalize Reagor's career, while others argue that time should be spent looking for more reliable and consistent options. It remains to be seen whether Reagor's story with the Eagles will have a final chapter, or if the team will choose to move forward with new bets on the market. Ultimately, one question remains. Will the Eagles risk giving Jalen Reagor a second chance? Or will Howie Roseman, with his keen eye for opportunities, seek more reliable alternatives? Time will tell, but with the constant evolution of the roster and the focus on strengthening key positions, Philadelphia could indeed consider this possibility. And while Reagor seeks a new destination after leaving the Chargers, the Eagles remain active in the market and already seem to be linked to another high-profile name. As the Philadelphia Eagles continue to closely monitor the wide receiver market, another name is emerging as a potential addition, and he could be a defensive asset many weren't expecting. Greg Newsome II, the Cleveland Browns' 25-year-old cornerback, is generating fervent buzz, and the question is, could Howie Roseman be preparing another masterstroke? Speculation about Newsome's departure from Cleveland has been growing, and the reason is clear. The cornerback, who is in the final year of his contract, has been a key piece of the Browns' defensive system. However, with a franchise in constant crisis and some uncertainty surrounding the team's future, signs point to a possible trade. And who else would be eyeing such a valuable player? The Eagles, known for their bold moves in the market, are a natural candidate. Newsome has stood out for his consistent performance, especially in 2024, when he played a crucial role in Cleveland's defensive success. One of the most memorable moments of their season was when they limited wide receivers Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, 2 of the Cincinnati Bengals' biggest stars, to subpar numbers in Week 1. Newsome's ability to neutralize big-time aerial threats makes him a valuable defender for any team looking to strengthen their secondary. For the Eagles, who have been aggressive in recent seasons, a cornerback of his caliber could be a perfect addition. Although they already have a solid defense, the cornerback position remains an area for improvement, especially with the constant challenge of dealing with the stars of the opposing aerial attack. And with Newsome reportedly on the market, the Eagles wouldn't be the only ones specifically interested. Teams like the Buffalo Bills are also reportedly eyeing the defender, meaning the competition to sign him could be fierce. The big question mark, however, is the price. What would the Eagles be willing to pay for a player in the final year of his contract? Speculation is that a third-round pick in 2026 could be the necessary value to secure the trade. While this is a significant offer, many question whether it's worth risking so many resources on a player who could soon be a free agent. Will the Eagles take this gamble? As always, Howie Roseman has a history of reaping significant benefits from trades, so it wouldn't be surprising if he were able to complete this deal at a timely rate. The situation is delicate. On the one hand, the Eagles know that Newsome's talent could further enhance their already strong defense. Furthermore, the uncertainty surrounding his future contract could make the investment somewhat risky. However, a player like Newsome's ability to neutralize aerial threats could be the difference the Eagles' defense needs to win the coveted title. What's clear is that Howie Roseman's moves are always unpredictable, and while fans eagerly await news, the rivalry between the Eagles and other NFL teams, like Buffalo, promises to make this negotiation one of the most intense of the season. If the clock does indeed tick and Newsome's signature is locked in, the impact could be immediate, and fans are already wondering, will we see another former Eagle traded, or will Howie finally pull off another memorable trade? But while trade speculation swirls behind the scenes, the reality on the field is worrying. Philadelphia's medical situation is starting to weigh heavily. Eagles face injuries to key players as Super Bowl rematch with Kansas City approaches. Injuries have also been a major topic in the Eagles' preparation for their pivotal Week 2 matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. Philadelphia's offense, which was explosive last season, now faces challenges with key players injured. The team's first injury report of the week revealed some concerning developments, including the losses of tight end Dallas Goedert and running back Will Shipley. Goedert, who was a dominant force in the Eagles' victory over Dallas, is now sidelined due to knee surgery. His absence could be a significant blow to the Eagles' passing game, but with Grant Calcaterra and Kylan Granson excelling, Philly hopes to fill the void. The Eagles can also count on newly acquired running back Tank Bigsby, who was recently traded to Philly to add depth to the backfield. Bigsby, who has shown potential as both a runner and a returner, could play a crucial role in the absence of Shipley, who is dealing with an oblique injury. Meanwhile, quarterback Tanner McKee is still recovering from a hamstring injury and will be unavailable for the game against the Chiefs, leaving Sam Howell as a backup behind Jalen Hurts. Additionally, offensive guard Landon Dickerson and edge rusher Jelix Hunt are listed as limited participants in practice, adding to the list of concerns for the matchup against Kansas City. Based on the Philadelphia Eagles' latest moves, which of these decisions could most directly impact the team's performance in the coming weeks? The possible reinstatement of Jalen Reagor, a trade for Greg Newsome too to strengthen the defense, or injuries to key players like Dallas Goedert and Will Shipley? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.